So it's most likely been a few days now. If you're looking at this, Kohei Ikeda Nakatsu has announced he will be leaving Tekken, and it's sad times. It's sad times for the game. It's worrying times. It's uncertain times. Because um, it's not rumors anymore. It's not speculation anymore. The landscape and leadership at Bandai Namco is actually shifting. Could it be shifting in a good way? We don't know, because the names that are synonymous with Tekken 8, the names that we know were reliable with Tekken 8 one way or another, have actually now departed. But I took a closer look, or when you take a closer look, for instance, right, there's also a third name that's missing from that, and he was actually the first departure. And it's a gentleman that goes by the name of Yohei Shimbori. Now, he worked on Dead or Alive and Tekken 8. And those are three big legendary developers that have now departed for pastures new. Harada has now got the backing of SNK Saudi Arabia money, right? And he's created his own independent studios called VS Studios. A lot of people are speculating, are they going to link up? Because something's off, right? Harada's gone, Nakatsu's leaving. Could they reunite at the VS Studios? There's been major departures from Bandai Namco, and now that's the one question people are just asking: what's next? Because for years, Harada was one of the most recognizable faces behind Tekken. Whether fans agreed with every decision or not, we all kind of thought that the bucks basically stopped with him. The buck stops with him. Harada became synonymous with the franchise. He was just a producer. He wasn't just a producer, right? He was part of the Tekken lore now, the Tekken identity, And now you imagine a scenario where other veteran talents, including Nakatsu, right, and Yohei Shimbori, also move on. Suddenly, we're not talking about the game's health anymore. We're talking about what's the possibility of them linking up and creating something that possibly rivals this title. Is that what they planned originally in the first place? And I think that's where really things start to get interesting, because if there's one thing gaming history will tell you, is that people don't stay apart away from each other for too long, especially if they're very good game developers. And knowing that these three have worked together for many, many, many years, could a link up be on the cards? Could they leave major publisher purely down to the red tape BS, purely down to not being able to create something in their own image or in their own vision, right? And they're being forced to put things otherwise they wouldn't put in the game? Because I think one thing that surprised everyone, especially when it came to Tekken, was the Tekken store. I don't think anyone asked for that. I don't think anyone asked for battle passes. But we've been going on with battle passes now. If the heat system as broken as it is, or was as broken as it was, with the announcement of in-game purchases, so even though you bought the battle pass, if they release any nostalgic costumes for your character and you want to get them, you have to pay extra. With the introduction of Tekken coins, so all that money you buy from your fighters. I remember in Tekken 6, I ended up with something like, when you max out everything, 9999 all across, that I had that. That's how much I played that game. And in Tekken 7 was a similar fate. It didn't go as high because I wasn't really too interested in Tekken 7 until Leroy Smith came out, because I'm a Bruce main, and Bruce hasn't been in the game for a while now. And, begs the question, why is that? And I'm sure these are characters that maybe even the higher ups just said, yeah, there's not enough engagement with them, because certain characters are specialist characters. Certain characters are flashy, but it takes a lot for you to actually master them and play them, really, because they can be a bit frustrating. I don't think Bruce was one of them, but Bruce just wasn't played. So I just think they just left him on the design floor and said, yeah, we're not going to add him in. And It's pissed off a lot of people. But then again they gave us Facumram in season in is it season 4 of Tekken 7, if I'm not mistaken, and now he's back in this game as well. So maybe he is the next Bruce. Who knows? But one thing, I'm forced to reconsider exactly what I thought about the whole franchise in itself, because the question I'm left asking isn't whether Harada and Nakatsu could work together again. The real question is whether they would want to. It's whether they would want to, because with all these departures, you're left asking, did they like each other? Did something happen? Did communication break down? Did friendships break down? I don't think people are asking the right questions, rightfully so. Maybe they're just respecting people's privacy and just not trying to spread any rumors, which also I'm not trying to do. I'm just worried about a game franchise that I love so much, and now it seems as though it might be abandoned ship time, because this might be going on a hiatus, and that's what I honestly believe. I think this is going to go on a 2-3 year hiatus. I think they're going to try and reshuffle and make sure they move pieces around, try to promote some people in order to put the game back in good leadership hands. But I honestly believe the damage is done. I believe the damage is done, because VS Studios don't have pressure of $1 billion corporation now in the hands of Harada, right? They don't have the pressure of $1 billion corporation, so maybe they might be able to resurrect a dying IP, a sleeping IP, or create a brand new one in order to rival the big three, which is Street Fighter, Tekken, and Mortal Kombat, right? They've been the big three for such a long time, and say what you want to say, but unfortunately it is what it is. So not saying that other games don't have their own community, but they're more specified. They're more like cult followings. They do have the community, but it's not as big as the Mortal Kombat, the Tekken, or the Street Fighter. I'll be absolutely real. Well, in my little bubble anyway, and what do I know? But creating a successful fighting game, however, is not going to be easy, because we've seen a lot of new titles that are just not doing as good. 2XKO is not doing as good. Invincible, I would love to see what the Invincible sales are. Maybe I'm going to pick up on that at some point and report on the sales, but I don't think that's doing good either. Virtual Fighters soon to be released, right? They're showing a lot more screenshots and showing us what the gameplay actually may look like, the in-game mechanics. And so far, I'm not going to lie, it looks like they get it. That's the honest to God's truth. They get it. So I don't know if they're going to create a brand new IP that's going to rival those. Well, only time will tell. So, maybe being backed by Saudi money independently, they could buy the rights to Tekken. I don't think anyone's actually dismissed that from the realms of possibility. They could actually buy the rights to Tekken and bring it over there where they work on it independently, because if the main guys leave, what happens to Tekken? I don't think anyone else will be in the position to deliver what the fans actually want. So who knows, they could buy the rights, like I said, and create it in their own image, create it how they saw the game go, in the direction in which. So again, it begs the question, maybe this wasn't their doing in the first place. The way how Tekken is currently, the way how it started in season 1 and 2, maybe this was never their vision. And maybe we've just been giving them the aggro because they're the face of the company. So, I think if anyone has the know-how and the expertise enough and experience to be able to create either an original or resurrect a dying IP, I think it will be people such as Shimbori, Nakatsu, and Harada. So only time will tell. And what makes this situation fascinating, personally, is we're now starting to think beyond Tekken after this announcement, and after you digging deep and finding out that there was a previous developer that also left, right? we're imagining the developers could create with a lot more freedom, because I honestly believe it is the red tape. I think it is the red tape. But one thing that's undeniable is things are happening, and who knows? Maybe we'll just see everyone go their own way. Maybe we're witnessing early stages of a new chapter in fighting games. Who knows? You know, or maybe yeah, they could all come back together, get the band back together, and including Michael Murray, then buy the rights to Tekken and be able to work on it in their own image without any red tape, and basically be the ones dictating to Bandai Namco as the direction that they want the game to go in, which is going to please more of the fans or the fan base than not. So all of that comes into question, and we're just thinking now, what next? That's literally what I'm feeling like now. What next? So watch this space, man. Watch this space. I'm not gonna read the statement. It's because it's a sad one. It's a sad one. It's up there in Twitter. It's up there. That's been reported so much by so many other content creators. But nevertheless, I normally get my news from either IGN or the Gamer. And yeah, man, it's so sad, man. It's so sad. They've literally just put this game's live or cycle on life support. And honestly, watch this space. Only time will tell exactly what happens, what goes on. Is it going to be put on an extended break? Is it going to go on a hiatus, as they say? Or is it just going to be shut down, the franchise itself completely, which will then mean that Harada can come in and buy the rights to work on the game, buy the rights to work on the franchise. And maybe that was the plan all along. Maybe that was the plan all along. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? We'll wait and see. But nevertheless, man, thank you. Appreciate you guys being here. It's a sad day for Tekken, man. It's a sad day, and it's a worrying one as well. I don't claim to know everything. By all means, there is more comprehensive breakdowns out there. There's more comprehensive talks. There's gamers that are actually speaking to game developers that work in the industry. So by all means, check out those videos. Thank you for joining mine. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.